The Wealth Choice by Dr. Dennis Kimbrell. That book is so interesting, and he interviews over 700 millionaires, right? Black millionaires. And one of the common threads that they had as far as them hitting their wealth status, 70% of them believed in financial advisors. They all had 70%. Right. And you're talking about research. So, a lot of people don't know how to research either, but this is a qualitative book, qualitative research, meaning that it's a fact. It can't be disputed. Over 70% of these millionaires said that I had a financial advisor, and that's how I was able to accumulate my wealth.
You know what's so funny? When I hear people say, I don't trust the banks, I don't trust financial advisors, what I hear them saying is, you don't want to be wealthy.
Yeah.
Because it's like, when I started my health journey, I didn't walk into the gym.
Yeah, exactly. Just random.
And just randomly, all right, let me go do this thing.
Right.
No, I sat down with a pro.
Yeah.
And here's the thing, too, and I don't want to offend nobody.
Yeah.
I didn't go to the trainer that was fat.
Yeah.
Hey, that's a key.
That's a key right there.
You know what I'm saying? I'm just going to be real.
Yeah.
Because it's like, how are you going to tell me to get a six-pack
Yeah.
when you carrying around, like, you know what I'm saying? Well,
Yeah.
no.
Yeah.
I even went to a woman trainer. You know what I'm saying? Because, hold up. How you doing? Because I want a woman like you.
Yeah.
So it's like, if you look good, and if you in here, you can tell me
Yeah.
what you want to see and how to do what I'm gonna do.
Exactly.
So I was like, okay. So when I hear people say, I don't want a financial advisor, you don't want to be wealthy.
You don't.
Because you said it, you don't know what you don't know.
Yeah.
And so how are you gonna invest and then you don't even know what you don't know?
Exactly.
I learned something last week with my financial advisor, love you sis, and I'm like, okay, now we talking. Like, I didn't know about, she taught me, y'all been thinking I'm playing, I've been taking notes. She taught me about the DAF, the Donor Advisory Fund.
Okay.
And I was like, wait, what? So wait, like, because I give a lot of money away.
Okay.
That's one thing, one of my goals is I want to give.
Yeah.
Like, I want to be a generous person. And last year, it was like, all right, cool, we want to give 6 figures away to my local church. And then we want to do $20,000 towards, single parents and just single people. And we did that. This year, I want to be able to give away double to triple to my church. But I also want to give back more and more, right?
Love it. Love it.
But it's like, I don't know who I want to give it to.
Yeah.
And so she was like, oh, that's easy. I said, what do you mean? We just open you up a DAF account. I was like, a DAF account? What do you mean? She was like, well, you transfer this money into that account, boom, right? And it's gone.
Yeah.
It's like a foundation.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But you get to write it all off. And then whenever you find that nonprofit you want to donate to, you cut it from the DAF account. I said, well, shut the front door.
Right.
I was like, can we move that into the now from 2022? She was like, nope, can't do that.
Yeah. And you just talk about your church. The Bible says, lean on not your own understanding.
Yeah.
So it's like, there has to be a strategy put in place.
There has to be.
That's where you start.
Yeah.
That's where you start.
Strategy. The same way if you were just going to go across country, the first thing you look at is putting in the GPS. Right? You're not just going to hop in the car and just start heading west.
Come on, you
Right?
You're going to put in the
A pilot ain't going to just start flying and just start heading west, right? You got to know where you're going. It has to be a
And they're
plan.
assessing the strategy. What's the quickest way to get there?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And sometimes they tell you, if you're doing a pilot, what's not just the quickest, what's the safest?
Because
Exactly.
we want to avoid turbulence, right?
Yeah.
And so when you get with a financial advisor, they're going to tell you what's the quickest and what's the safest way. Safest, how do you avoid issues with the IRS?
Yeah, exactly.
How do you avoid missing money and losing money?
Exactly.
But then also, while we're doing this a safe way, how do we get you there quick?
Exactly.
It's called a risk profile, right?
Exactly.
You might be more risk averse than the other person, right? Or you might want to take more risk, but you got to know here's the risks involved with what you're doing, right? So yeah, you can get there quicker, but you got to go through this turbulence. Do you want to?
Right. What are you willing to? Are you willing to take the risk? And suitability is important as well.
Come
you know?
on.
And that's why, again, just going back, I think it's so important that we emphasize you can't take these blanket statements. This is what the wealthy's been doing. This is what the Rockefeller has been doing. Well, you're a Smith. You're a Smith. And suitability says it right now. This is what we need to be safe. So those are things that we just got to be practical. We can't operate in a state of delusion.
Exactly.
All right, cool. Let's break down the strategy. 3 quick things that should be in your strategy to building wealth.
Yeah. I think we were talking about it earlier with you, right? You know, taxes. You got to understand there's two parts of investing, right? Is the tax part of it, but then it's also the growth, the risk part of it, right? It has to be a combination of the two, right? So it's like you're looking at, do I want to pay taxes now? Do I want to defer my taxes? Do I want to pay taxes later? Do I want to pay taxes at all, right? Right? So you need to know that piece of it. Then you also need to know your risk profile, right? Some people say, hey, I'm young, I have many years to go. I could take more risks than somebody who's 60 years old and they can't take a downturn in the market, right? So you need to, weigh those two things as part of your, your strategy.
No, that's real good.
I would say the next thing that you need to have as far as your wealth profile is your life insurance.
That's good.
And I know that's a bad word to our community, but life insurance is key. It's one of the most quickest, cost-efficient, immediate ways to create wealth for your family. See, life insurance is so interesting because it is 100% chance of death. It's of all the insurances, it's the one that you know you're going to use. You may not ever get into an auto accident. You may not ever use that, but life insurance, you will use that. Life insurance, and it's an immediate, for sure way to create an estate. So you need to have that into your wealth plan, period. Now,
as financial advisors, some people argue with me when I say this, but I really don't care. And if y'all argue with me, I really don't care. But I prefer term life. As financial advisors, what do y'all advise your people?
Yeah, so we believe 99% of the time, term life is going to be your best case scenario.
Why is that as financial advisors? I'm curious. I didn't know that, but
yeah. So it's funny, we're talking about black wealth, right? And if you actually do your research, black people weren't even allowed to purchase term at one point in time. They only sold us whole life and burial policies.
Facts.
Wait, what?
Yeah, that's true. Do some research.
Wait.
Do some research.
I've never heard that before.
Yeah, because it's too big of a payout in little cost, right? I unfortunately had a client pass away, 34 years old, died of blood clots. But husband's gonna receive $420,000 of insurance, right? That'll change your life versus a $25,000 burial policy or a whole life policy, right? Right. So you think about, we say, hey, most cost efficient, but a lot of times you hear people saying other products because you got to think about it. They get paid on commission. What would you rather sell somebody? A $40 product or a $400 product, right? A lot of times. And I think one thing we need to distinguish, it is actual law that you cannot market life insurance as an investment.
Big facts.
Go to your Department of Insurance, Go to the disclosures on your policies. It tells you right there, life insurance is not an investment. It's not even regulated with the SEC.
So whole life, universal life, infinite banking, be your own bank, that is not an investment. There are two different financial instruments. You got multiple financial instruments in your financial tool chest. Life insurance and investments are two different instruments. Term life insurance is a very simplified product. When you start getting into the other type of life insurances, they're very complex. So first of all, if you're not going to read the fine print, do the research, and again, suitability and strategy, does this fit you? Right? Do you have the means? Are you in a position right now to need these type of products? 99% of the time, term life is what our people need.
I want to drop another book on you, everybody should read. It's called Getting Rich, How to Avoid Being Ripped Off by the Insurance Industry.
Hold on, say it again.
Getting Rich, How to Avoid Being Ripped Off by the Insurance Industry. Written by two guys, Yale, Harvard degrees, Princeton degrees, and they actually did a study of all the life insurance products, and they specifically said in there 99% of the time, term life. So this isn't an opinion-based thing, right? We're just looking at numbers.
We're looking at the facts.
We're looking at facts and numbers. Norman Dacey also wrote a book, What's Wrong with Your Life Insurance, which talks about this. So this isn't, opinion-based. You need to know if somebody's selling something to you, you need to know how they're compensated.
That's true.
And
that's true, bro.
And you need to know if they're actually go to broker check. If they're trying to sell you a life insurance, are they also a financial advisor? Because you could be a life insurance agent and not be a financial advisor.
Which is why, I'm going to sell you this product because I can't offer you the market.
Exactly.
And when you look at the difference between the products like the whole lives and things like that, these are just the numbers. On a competitive standpoint, that rate of return is going to be significantly lower than your SEP IRA, your Roth IRA, your traditional IRA. So do you want a 2% rate of return or do you want a 9% rate of return? We're just talking math here. And those are the questions that we have to start asking. Which is why you need your financial advisors, because how do you even know what questions to ask?